Hello ladies, and welcome back to my channel. I have a wig review today of Renau's Mila, and this color is 32F, which I think is Cherry Cream is the name of it. So this color is very dynamic, and when I had went to my local wig boutique, I looked at the sample of it and it looked like orange with red. So I was super turned off, but I kept seeing people on YouTube channels with this color and I just loved it. I loved it, and I was like, but that just can't be. So I got this wig from another wig sister at a very affordable price, and it was brand new. So I jumped on it, and so I was like, no, I love that color, I'm gonna make it work. Because I have warm undertones, sometimes certain reds, if they're too burgundy or too dark, they can make me look washed out. So that's what I was concerned of with this color. But the fact that it was warmer on top and then it does this ombre, like you can see it, this is outdoor lighting, so you can see it has the lighter like red Irish copper, and there's highlights, and then it goes down into this dark auburn color, like dare I say burgundy. But you know, I love this color. I feel like it looks really good on me, and so I'm really happy with that. This color is very unique. It's definitely not a natural color, but it is a very like gorgeous, like look at me, I got my hair done at the salon kind of color, and that's what I really like about it. So you know, it depends on if you are trying to stand out or if you just kind of want to blend in. Sometimes I just want to blend in. Other times, like if I wear this out, I want to stand out and I want to get noticed. In fact, I want to get this color in other wigs. So anyways, let's talk about this piece. This is Mila, and she is shoulder length. So she's similar. I don't have a Julianne, but looking at the Julianne and her, I would say this one has more relaxed waves. Julianne seemed to be a little more curly, so it just depends on what you're looking for. This one is cheaper, as a full mono top, but it's wefted, and Julianne is hand tied all around. So I think more or less their lengths, you'd have to look up the specs, I have not, but just by looking at everyone, their length is roughly the same, but Julianne seems to have more distinct curls, and this one is just a little more relaxed. So I did thin this wig. She just had too much hair when I had her, and I just was not comfortable with it. I couldn't tuck it behind my ear, so I had thinned her. And I still feel like what I might do, because up here is where it feels like a big round head, and it feels very pillowy. So what I have learned recently how to do is to thin right where the little permatease hairs are. That is important with synthetic wigs, to keep their volume, and so you can fluff them up. It's not like some wigs like Ignite by Renau had you know, a lot of permatease to help, you know, that little bird's nest look, that all that permatease. A lot of Noriko wigs have them. There's other brands, but those are the only ones that come to mind. But those ones, they have a lot of permatease to give lots of volume. But if you'll notice, and each wig is different, each style is different in how much, but there's got to be the little curly, wiry permatease. In fact, I'm just gonna take these off. See if I can show you. It needs enough to where you can hide the wefts and style accordingly. So if you can see, I don't know if you can see, right, right here, 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 right here See all those little wiry things right there? That is, it's permatease in between each weft, because for one, you have to be able to hide the wefts. So it's got to be there to give it that volume and that shape, because since it's, you know, synthetic hair, that it's heated to a certain style, and then those little bits of permatease help it. But when there's too much, it gives you that rounded look that some people may not really care or notice it, but to me, like when I feel like my head is very rounded and I already have a small head, then it makes me self-conscious, and I want to be able to fix that. So I'll probably try that again this time and try and snip closer to where the wefts are, where the permatease is, so I'm not snipping as much hair. Because I feel like with this density, it's not, you know, it's not that thick anymore, but it still has that little baseball head to the top of it. So I'm not sure, you know, and I would, with Julianne, if you don't mind more distinct curl pattern, she's hand tied, so you won't have that same effect. Some of those wigs still are thick. Like I have a John Renau Sarah, and she was thinned because it still was just like a lot of hair. And when it you know, some wig makers, you know, have gone on the boat with making it thin where it's supposed to be and thicker where it's supposed to be, but you know, a lot of these wigs, they just come thick everywhere. So you put this thing on your head and you're like, and it's like, oh my gosh, look at all this hair. So if you can find wig makers that, you know, will thin where it's supposed to be, or learn to do it yourself, or take it to a wig boutique, they know how to do it. Some of them, I guess. I'm sure not all of them is perfect, but yeah. So if you're struggling with that as well, then, you know, consider learning how to do it yourself, and just think about where would you need to thin more to make it look more realistic. You could have more hair at the crown, but you should probably thin here, and then maybe thin like a little bit down here, and then that way it'll just help a little more with that shape and not make your head look so round and just like it's one length all around. Because I feel like if you're trying to make it look realistic, then you need to, you know, play with that density. So that's just what I think. I'm always trying to make my wigs look, you know, as real as possible, more as realistic, you know, like this color I don't think is, you know, super realistic, but it's beautiful, beautiful color. And I want to get this color in other styles, like I said before. So I ever parted on the left, I did ever parted on the right, but it didn't look right. Sometimes we just know what kind of part we want, and that alone makes the difference in how our face looks. So I put it over here. I feel like, you know, keeping this part looks good, but I would definitely need to pluck some more along there, and then add the powder underneath to help it give more of that scalp look. Let's see, her ear tabs, I mean, they're a little thick, but it doesn't feel super pillowy. Like some of them, they do feel really pillowy, and you know, it'd be hard to stick like glasses over it, but these ones aren't too bad. This lace front, let's see, I want to give you as realistic as possible. It doesn't look bad. The knotting for this isn't too bad. Like that's one thing with this that I'm not worried about. This, like with the highlighting, and that's where you got to find the right part, because sometimes the highlighting will look like stripes right across, and so then you have to definitely make sure you pluck where the highlighting is to break up that line across your head, and then that will add more realism. And then, you know, if you just kind of mess with the part, I have a bad habit of always trying to sometimes I have things like too close to my head. I'm really bad at trying to fluff everything up. But, you know, sometimes just doing this little like scrunch up the part might help. But, you know, you'd be better off just trying to tweeze around where the highlighting is, just to break it up again so it's not so consistent with that stripe. But after thinning her, I can tuck her behind the ear. You know, this is a really great fall winter color. I want to get this wig again, and I'll be tempted to not wear it in the summer too, because I really like this color, the blonde and just the different colors of red. It's so unique and dynamic. I cannot think of any other color among all the wig makers that have this color. So John Renau has outdid themselves in it, and it's just beautiful, beautiful. So let me do a little spin around for ya. Oh, I like my wrinkly glitter background. I don't know how to iron this thing, if it even does iron. But here is the side. So the part, like, I'm about like 7 inches, 4 inches. So the front sits like right above my clavicles. Here is, let me make sure I'm in the right photo. Here's the back. So it grazes, you know, it's like right at my shoulders. Right at my shoulders. So I don't have a lot of styles this length. I have them either shorter or longer. So I don't know, and this isn't heat synthetic. If this was heat synthetic, I'd be really concerned with the edges fraying, just from what I've heard people say. But this one, I'm not sure how well this will do, you know, because it's rubbing on my collar, rubbing on everything. So I'm not sure how well these fibers are going to last. You know, they might not last very long, and then I'm gonna have to get it cut shorter, which, you know, I'm not opposed to, but then it'll take away some of this gorgeous darkness. So I don't know, but here she is. I don't know if I'm gonna make this a work wig or just wear it out, you know, if I'm not wanting to wear long hair. We'll have to see, because I like to wear short wigs to work, just so they're not rubbing on everything and the fibers are getting all tattered, because I work for 12+ hours. So, you know, long wigs just aren't gonna work. I need them all to be shorter. I think the longest one I have is Carrie, and she's human hair, and so it's not as much of a factor, hasn't been so far. But this is, here she is. This is John Renau's Mila in the color 32F, and she's a very gorgeous color. This color, I, you know, would venture to guess will work on people who are have cooler undertones because of this dark red. And I have warm undertones, and it doesn't wash me out. The highlights and the warmth of here does just enough to where it can complement both skin tones. So I really think anybody would be able to pull this off. If you're very fair skinned, you could even pull this off if you're very dark skinned or olive toned. And then, you know, makeup, like if ever I wear this wig, I'll have to wear makeup just because the color is very overpowering. If I just went without, then I don't think it would, you know, give the same look that it does now. So makeup helps a lot with different colors that we're trying to pull off. So here she is, a little spin around again. And this is right by outdoor lighting. So the color is very realistic. But she's very relaxed waves, and I absolutely love her. And I can't wait to take more pictures of her and post them on Instagram and post them on Facebook. And just, she's really pretty. I've been waiting for winter, the official winter time to approach so that I can wear this wig. So I'm very excited to have her now. And thank you for watching, ladies, and have a good day, and I will talk to you soon.